Warning, this show has outdated attitudes, language, and views which may cause offense today. If you don't like it, suck it. Valhalla, what is your profession? Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Friday's edition of Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me today is the wonderful, the beautiful Reina Creole, and the equally beautiful Rooster of Roosters, Dave. How are you guys doing this morning?
Doing good on my third cup of coffee, so I'm doing really good right now.
Doing great.
It's Chicken Hawk, right? It's Chicken Hawk, not a rooster.
No, I'm the rooster in the hen house, bud.
Yes,
right.
Foghorn Leghorn. And I gotta say, every time I see that avatar, I keep picturing Foghorn Leghorn with that 2x4, and he goes and grabs Sylvester and starts spanking the heck out of him. So that
yeah, that's on the outro there.
Yeah,
that's
on the outro for the Patreon members.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, but when we were talking about what to use for Dave Bob, him whacking the hell out of Sylvester. Yeah, it had to happen. It had to happen. Good morning, Dark Monkey, Orath, Purple Valkyrie, and Samantha Joe. The Valkyries are here. Keely Chow, Roll Tide, Keely, Jester of Sin.
Yes.
Lady Myst, the Guardian of the Void, is here, ladies and gentlemen. Doctor and author, Adega Outlaw. Jedi Bill 797, Mary's Game Room, Chris Persia, the Wrench of Wrenches. Good morning, brother. Jedi Bill 797, Sit Room, Dave G Sound, Gun Buddy. The Queen Wave.
Yes, but above the pearls and below the crown. That's what they say.
Oh, guys, have you heard the about the celebrities, the naked celebrities doing a political ad? Did you guys see that?
Unfortunately, yes.
Sorry to say yes. I think my eyeballs will never be the same. I think they're scalded.
I think you need eye bleach like I did.
I think earlier backstage, Reina Creole said she'd rather see Mr. Burns naked again than that.
At least that had true comic relief value. This hot mess, no.
We also brought up staying relevant, and you see like the Brie Larson YouTube. I remember when Jack Black was going to do a YouTube channel about gaming, and I was like excited. I was like, holy shit, we're going to get to see Jack Black, just be real. And yeah, that kind of didn't happen. And we definitely didn't see Brie Larson be real. If anything,
no, not at all.
Brie Larson was a flash in the pan. I think she had that first video, and then after that, it dropped so hard. I think she's pretty much decided, this ain't gonna work.
Not at all.
Well, she didn't put any work in.
No, because everyone did the work for her.
Yeah. You both know when you're doing a YouTube channel, you put a lot of work in. It's a lot more complicated than people think it is. You know, you plan out a show, you have like a theme, you get ready, you talk to guests, you're networking, you're talking behind the scenes. I know I've got a million things to do in a day, and it's not just for the channel. I've got a Patreon, I've got memberships, I've got a plan during the month. I've got to have a watch party for my patrons. I got to make sure my members on YouTube have their private parties. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. This is not the easiest thing in the world to do. And when you have all these people doing it for you, you have no appreciation for what you're doing.
None. I mean, if you're going to have people do stuff for you, at least acknowledge that. And at least, you know, you have some part in it. It's like, okay, I plan this, I plan that, and I tell people what to do. It's like, okay, that's great. But if all you do is just sit there and look at the camera and you're waiting for, you know, people to set things up, set your lighting up, set your makeup up, you know, all of that, it's not, you know, it's not genuine at all. And Loki, like you say, yes, you do have to plan a lot. No joke. I literally have a OneNote notebook on my computer with notebooks for every show that I have, who I'm talking to, who I need to bring in, everything, you know, that needs to be done. It's when you make it easy, it can fool a lot of people, you know, but
Yeah.
it is truly a lot of work.
Yeah, it's not just us getting on here and BSing for an hour or so. There's planning, there's prep. If I'm doing stuff with Chopper Dan, I've got to get all that put together. If I'm planning on doing something with Mexican Iron Man and others, usually we've got to get together and have like a little power meeting before the show and figure out what we're going to do. And yes, there is some improv involved in that, but that's because that is the way we go. We don't sit there and like script everything out.
Hey, brother, I'm going to have to drop off. I have a little emergency going on here.
All right, Dave Bob, you take it easy, brother. Let me know you're okay.
Take care, Dave Bob.
Okay.
It works out.
And Dave Bob, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you're all right, brother.
Yeah, I hope so.
Everything's all right. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but they of course have people. They have people that are going to do all that for them.
Oh yeah, plenty of people. It's like I would love to have, let's see, an executive planner, a makeup artist, a hairstylist, someone to research clips for me, someone to put my clips together for me, someone to do research for me. I would love to have all of that, but I don't. So, you know, it's just me. You know, it's just me doing it all. And that's what a lot of YouTubers, you know, wind up doing. It's that behind the scenes stuff that you don't see is what makes you authentic. Like I think I had told actually, I talked about this, either it was on Toxic Femme or Babe de Menace, where we were talking about Brie Larson's channel and saying how authentic it didn't feel. Like, for example, if Betty White did a YouTube channel, she would be authentic about not knowing what she knows and knowing what she knows. And we could actually relate to that because a lot of people have love for Betty White. It doesn't come off as fake. But with Brie, it's kind of just like, oh, I just decided I was going to do a YouTube channel and it's going to be great. And you have people doing all the editing and the lighting for her and telling her who to talk to and the special curated group of YouTubers that she was talking to.
Oh, yeah. And that wasn't like, oh, wow, what a surprise. Oh, look at you. Oh, I just got the invite. Yeah, my ass.
Yeah, right. Bring some of those crazy Brie bots on there to love you so much. That would have been interesting.
Yeah. And Psychodorf 9 Loki, didn't Johnny Carson do 10 hours of work for a 2-hour show every night? It was something around that. Yeah.
That's about right.
9.
That's about right.
It's insane. Absolutely insane.
Absolutely. For every presentation I've ever done professionally, for every, let's say, hour presentation, that's easily about 5 hours of work, 5 to 10, depending on how much is involved.
And reaching out to people, that's a big thing. Networking, you know, when we talk about networking and we talk about reaching out and talking to new people, and I talked to Anna the other day, that Star Wars girl. I talked to Anna. I was like, hey, Just wondering if you wanted to be on the show one morning. And she was like, yes, but that is like super early for me. Let me get back to you when. And you know, if you don't reach out, what's the worst they can say if you do reach out? No.
Exactly. The worst they think they can say is no. And in some cases, at least in a lot of cases I ran into, they're just glad that, you know, you genuinely reached out.
Yeah, exactly. And seeing these actors and actresses naked, they're gonna get naked for some, and this is all for some naked ballot thing happening. I think in Philadelphia is what I saw.
Oh Lord, near my neck of the woods. Don't get me started. Oh, it's such a lack of self-awareness, like you were saying, and like we were talking about earlier. They are in such desperate need to appear relevant that they will stoop to the lowest level to get attention. And what's that? Basically taking your clothes off, you know? Exactly, yeah. Latino slant. That's exactly true.
Yes.
But it's just ridiculous. And I've noticed that they have gotten more desperate the more popular new media has gotten. Because of new media, we can get around the gatekeepers and get our message out. Pretty much anyone with an internet connection and a computer and software can put their stuff out there on the internet and in the new media sphere. And they're starting to figure out that there are people out here with as much, if they had any, or even greater amounts of talent than they have, and that is competition.
Oh yeah, it's all that's why the news, if you try and do anything news related, breaking news, anything like that, you're gonna get screwed in the algorithm. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they'll try and come after you because they don't want another news network reporting on something. They want you to go to CNN, they want you to go to CBS, they want you to go to NBC, they want you to go to major networks. They don't want you reporting on news.
They don't want you reporting on it. They don't want you going to independent news sources. They don't want that at all, because if they get you stuck to the independent news sources, they can control you. Yeah, Chris Prsa, Pennsylvania. Yeah. Our governor, who thinks he's a king, who his emergency declaration got declared unconstitutional. We knew that. I'll be so glad when I get out of this damn state.
Oh, and I hate when politics makes you feel like that. When politics makes you feel like, man, I can't even live here anymore. It's so bad that all this stuff's going on. Like we've been talking to Mexican Iron Man about California.
Oh, and I used to live there. Dang.
Yeah, so did I. And it's one of those things where he's talking about there are people, literally homeless people, that have gotten the bubonic fucking plague
because of the city.
Because they just won't clean up the city.
No.
And they won't deal with the homeless. And when I say deal with the homeless, I mean trying to make a better future for the homeless. You can either try and make a better future and try and help them and try and uplift them, or you can let them live on the street. And what California has done is they've said, well, they get to live on the street. Nobody can do anything about it. If they want to camp out in your backyard, they can put a camp up in your backyard and live in your backyard. And there's nothing you can do about it. You call the cops and, hey, this is my property. This is my house. They're living in my backyard. Well, I'm sorry, sir, but there's absolutely nothing we can do about it.
And it didn't used to be this way. Because when I lived in California, and this was like, I want to say like the early 2000s, it wasn't like that. There was a homeless problem, but there were lots of groups available to like help the homeless. And there were homeless outreach programs. And it was not at all this bad. You didn't hear anything about bubonic plague, anything, all of that. And then crap just started going downhill. And it is just out of control. From people who've told me areas that used to be really nice, like the People's Republic of Santa Monica, Those of you who live there, you will know what I'm talking about. It used to be nice. It is, God, it is disgusting. It's like little San Francisco now. It's just, it's horrible.
It's and Hollywood's a part of all this.
Oh yeah.
And I don't get it. I do not get it. Instead of trying to help people and uplift them and try and get them on their feet, it's just, oh, well, we're just going to let you live the way you live. And
because doing that would actually require work. It would require work to do. Yeah, I see you, Latino slant. I love Cali. You know what? When I was a kid, that's where I wanted to move.
Yeah.
Was California. That's where I wanted to go because everything that I would see in movies, that was where I wanted to go. So when I got what I thought was my dream job at the time, and went to Cali along with all the people going to .coms and everything, I was happy to live there. I loved living in California. I was proud to say I lived in California, even with the high ass taxes and the high cost of, who was it? I'm forgetting that Babylon 5 actor. Oh my gosh. Unfortunately, he passed away and he actually ran for Congress and I voted for him in California. Gosh, the guy who played Garibaldi. I can't remember his name, but he had basically said that it was like the high cost of low living. And he actually wound up moving to Florida because he was talking about that too. But California used to be amazing. California used to be amazing. It really did. And unfortunately, you have got a group of people. Jerry Doyle, that's who it is. He's so freaking cool. I met him a couple of times. California, like I said, it used to be gorgeous. But unfortunately, you have got some people in government there who just want to tax the hell out of people. And in doing that, you take away the funds that can be used to improve people's lives and improve the state. And they're not freaking doing that. There's stuff to love about California. I loved the weather when I was there, except for the smog. Y'all can keep the smog. Smog used to screw up my allergies all the time. But I loved it, but it got to the point where it was just unbearable for me to live there and unbearable for a lot of people to live there. So we just started packing up and leaving because those high taxes, this ridiculous that I should have to pay $400 to register my car a year.
Yeah.
In California, that I can't just buy a vanity license plate. I have to quote unquote rent my vanity license plate. So it's nuts. And I feel bad for the folks that are still there because the government is going the wrong way. Because like I said, California used to be the epitome of life in America.
Yeah. I was born there. I was born in San Diego. I lived there for 7 years. We moved to Texas. I always dreamed about moving back. Why? Because of the beaches and the
beaches, the mountains, the weather. It was just gorgeous. It wasn't hot and humid because Florida was hot and freaking humid. But Cali, I'm like, it's 100 degrees. Really? It doesn't quite feel like it. It was gorgeous. I loved it. Loved being out there. Loved learning stuff about the film industry. I didn't like that where I moved was like the Hollywood backlot sometimes because they would have fireworks going off at 2 a.m. I'm like, what the heck? Choppers flying around because they're shooting, for movies. I'm like, what the heck is this? It was just like some of the coolest things. Halloween. I lived near some SFX guys. Their Halloween displays were they're absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Living in California, it was like nowhere else I'd ever lived. And I loved it. But unfortunately, it just, ran me out.
Yeah. And part of it is these celebrities, and the movie industry has a lot of really good people in it. Don't ever think that when I talk about Hollywood, I am talking about the men and women that make props, the men and women that
catering.
All of that. There are some hard ass working people involved in Hollywood, but then you've got the celebrities that take all of the forefront. They're always in the forefront. And they've got some pretty wicked, weird shit that they do. And this naked, let's do a naked video. It's funny. We live in the hashtag Me Too era, and you've got Sarah Silverman coming out naked, covering up her hoo-has, saying, listen, this is what everyone needs to do. You need to listen to us, and you need to do what we tell you. Because, yeah.
They honestly do not believe in that Me Too thing. It was just a hashtag to just get their names out there, to generate publicity. It was all about them.
Yeah.
All about them. Because if it wasn't all about them, they would have come out a lot earlier than they did about the likes of Harvey, the Harvey guy.
That's right.
And the Harvey guy. And they didn't. And I, from living out there, because I used to live around a lot of actors, I would go to parties because I worked in IT. So I would go to parties where some of them would be. And some of the actors were pretty cool, especially some of the actors who were trying to really, really make their way in Hollywood. That's a little different because the actors that you see, for every one actor that you see, there's like 5,000 that aren't on television, that are trying to make it there. So it's such catering to like actors, because I thought that too. I just thought Hollywood was just the actors and all that. But then when I got there, would see like all the other people involved in the production. And if something goes wrong and the production shuts down, you know what? They're not getting paid. And it's not all about, the actors, but the way the Hollywood PR machine is. Everything's about the actors, and you have the people talking to them, and the ones that aren't mentally strong buy into that crap. And they think that, oh, whatever I do, everyone's going to love me. This is going to be great. Everyone's telling you, do this, it'll be great. Be for publicity. They love you because Hollywood has this bubble around them where they think that everything that they do is great and the rest of America can just suck it.
Yeah.
And it did not used to be that way. Hollywood actors used to have much respect for the American people and for the product that they put out. They weren't seen as being above Americans. They were basically, you know what? I just want to portray Americans. I just want to give a product that uplifts people and makes people happy. And yes, you had the star system, but they actually seemed, what would I say? They actually seemed human.
Yeah.
And now, no.
It's like, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, instead of human, it's like they're elevated to like a godlike status.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. And I'm sure that's the way they think about it too. I'm this important, so people will obey. And Psychodorf 9 with a $2 super chat. I tried delivering Airstreams. Hated Cali.
Yeah, I get you.
Thank you so very much, Psychodorf 9. You keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. And are you ready, Loriana?
I am ready.
Skull!
There it is! It's beautiful! Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Thank you so very much, Psychodorf 9.
Thank you.
It jumped on me. Oh, where did it go? No. Oh my Lord.
I do that too. I'm like, crap, I clicked the wrong.
Oh, there, Gun Bunny. Oh man.
Yes, like Elvis was one. A couple of other ones were ones. Yeah.
You had the Duke fighting the good fight for a long time.
Absolutely. Because what was it? I'm sorry, I'm reaching behind me here. Because I want to say even Disney, like this is one of my favorite books.
Yeah, Disney during World War II. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite books that I have. And Hollywood, Hollywood veterans were like revered. Now, I want to say ever since like around maybe the 80s, when a lot of Vietnam movies started coming out, they just started portraying veterans as crazy, shell-shocked, unhinged. Ugh.
Yeah.
Completely disrespectful.
Yeah. And they reveled in it. They reveled in doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept expecting that to come back around after.
What was that movie about? Oh gosh, I'm blanking out about who was in it. His first name was Kyle. He was oh my gosh, he was a sniper because I read his book, American Sniper. That was the movie that they did, American Sniper. Yeah.
Mark, not Mark Wahlberg.
Oh shoot,
Matt Damon. Was it Matt Damon or was it Ben Affleck?
It wasn't Affleck. It was crap. Who was the guy who was in The Hangover? The one who pretended to be a cop for a while. He was driving a police car. He was in it. I am blanket. Bradley Cooper. That's right. Mary's Game Room and Keely Chow. Yes. Gary Cooper. Bradley Cooper. Yes. Yeah. I thought it was going to turn around with that, but Bradley Cooper got such blowback from his Hollywood friends about it that it's like he was backing away. Chris Kyle, that's right. That's right, Gun Bunny. Chris Kyle. I read his book, American Sniper. That's a good freaking book to read. He got so much blowback to the point where he wasn't even backing the movie. And that was a positive portrayal of vets. And I thought it was going to come back around.
Tom Berenger.
Which one was he in?
Was that just Sniper? Not American Sniper, but it was Sniper.
That must have been a different movie, but yeah, American Sniper was the one for based on Chris Kyle's autobiography. Mark Wahlberg was in a different movie, which was really good. I saw that too, and dang it, I'm blanking on.
I'm mixing movies here.
I'm blanking on it, but I know Mark Wahlberg for that movie, when people were complaining, and he was just like, "No, vets do this stuff all the time. People are deployed, they do this, they don't have it easy. So why should you have it easy?"
Yeah.
He was in Shooter, I think too. Yeah.
Shooter, Mexican Iron Man. Shooter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's another good one. But I don't know if Hollywood, I wouldn't even bank on Hollywood portraying veterans in a good light.
No.
Anymore at all. Independent ones are going to have to do it.
And Captain Trek says, Loki, the truth is there were veterans like that and the story needed to be told, but Hollywood then portrayed all veterans that way, which is far from the truth.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, even in what was it, the second run into Iraq after 9/11, I remember seeing videos that were put out of the kids that, there are a lot of kids signed up after 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing some video that should have never seen the light of day. But you know what? When they joined up, they were pissed. There were a lot of kids pissed, really, really pissed, and that should have been tempered. And you know what? It's you can't go to war and not have that type of drive. You can't.
Mm-mm.
Mexican Iron Man description: top Marine sniper, Bob Lee swagger. Mark Wahlberg leaves military after mission, goes horribly awry and disappears without a trace. Yes, absolutely. But Hollywood's going to twist it. Hollywood's going to turn it. Hollywood's going to make bank on it because that's what they do.
That's what they do.
And spin their own narrative, and that's what they've been doing the last 5 years, is spinning their own narrative on everything. It's just a matter of, are we going to listen to it, or are we going to think for ourselves?
Yeah, and that's literally what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to think for yourselves. You're going to have to reject, this crap that comes out. I mean, I didn't serve, but I worked on a whole bunch of tech that, let's just say, a lot of military wound up using. And I am proud as hell of that fact, but you have people who will demonize people like me for it. They want to demonize vets for it. But yeah, we have to reject this stuff.
The police, really, the police and Blue Lives Matters are the ones who are getting it now. Defund the police.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's turned to.
That one and Colin, what's his name? Calling to get rid of police and prisons. No.
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 No, it's completely disrespectful for the men and women that keep people safe
Totally.
each and every day.
Totally. And I just find it really disingenuous that he would say that, considering how in a lot of communities, especially some inner city minority communities, people are prisoners literally in their own houses because of the rampant crime. And they want to demonize the police, for that. Yeah, of course, you got a couple of bad cops. That's in people know that. People know that that's out there. But a lot of that has to do with overregulation from government and big government.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize. When you have big government, clamping down like that on people, restricting police's ability to protect the citizenry, you got a problem.
Yeah. And that's what their job is, to protect.
Exactly. And won't let the citizens protect themselves, aka gun control, which gun control is racist, but I'll talk about that another time. Because I gotta go.
Oh, Reina Creole, thank you so much for coming in for breakfast this morning.
You are welcome. I love coming here. Love you guys in the chat showing up. I try to drop in the chat during the week when I can, and always look forward to every other Friday dropping in and seeing you guys from this point of view.
Thank you so very much. I absolutely love getting your point of view on all of this, and I can't wait. 2 weeks, she will be back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much, Reina Creole. If one of the wrenches could please throw Reina Creole's YouTube link out in chat, I would so much appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, because I am, I think, 20 or 30 away from 900 viewers. So
nice.
900 subscribers. Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Throw Steven Seagal an extra fat Steven. Throw him an extra nugget.
Yes. He's requested more Frosties, so I'm gonna send him Frosties. Bye, everyone. Take care. Have a blessed weekend. Bye. Thanks.
Thank you. Oh, Reina Creole, ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful, beautiful Reina Creole. She is so sweet. I absolutely love getting to talk to her every other week. Oh, guys, you have to make a decision. It's not a decision I can make for you. It is not a decision that anyone can make for you. Whatever you support has to be worth it. And if you support me here at Mornings of Mischief, thank you so very much. If you support free thinking, standing up on your own 2 feet, standing up and being heard, please do so. Make sure that that you let the people know that you support them. I'm not talking about super chats. I'm not talking about Patreons. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about having your voices heard, standing up and having your voices heard, because now more than ever, it's important, because they don't want you to. And Latino slant crime and deaths are up big time in South LA. Media blames the beer bug. Don't even mention the defunding of the LAPD. Yeah, exactly. The rioting, the looting, trying to take over cities, trying to take over states, quote, free zones. It's absolutely maddening. The anarchy going on has been allowed. It's just been allowed. No one wants to do anything about it because they're so afraid of having their finger pointed at them and being called an ist or a phobe or a Yahtzee or a sexist, something, anything that they can use to control you. They're going to control you, and have no shadow of a doubt that the elite in Hollywood would do the same. They've already done it. They do it to themselves every single day. They do it to themselves when they cancel each other. They do it to themselves when they scream from the top of the heavens that the Me Too movement is the purest. No. There are bad things that happen, but let me tell you something. Hollywood knew about Harvey. Hollywood knew about that guy that didn't do himself in. Hollywood knew about all of this, and they kept it quiet for years. We all knew about casting couches. How many of you didn't know about casting couches? How many of you didn't know there was wacky shit going on? How many of you didn't know that these actors and actresses, the elite in Hollywood, were in and out of rehab back and forth over and over and over and over again? Hell, look at RDJ. He completely turned his life around. And there's some that won't. They've got a hand shoved up their backside. They're used as puppets for talking points. They're used. Look at Daisy Ridley. Look at what's happened to Daisy Ridley. As many people as that don't like her, and I fucking hate Rey. I absolutely positively hate Rey Skywalker. Look at where she's at now. Because she was used the way she was used by Disney, no one wants anything to do with her anymore. No one wants anything to do with her. Do you think that blacklisting is over in Hollywood? Do you think that Disney gives one shit about Daisy Ridley? No, they used her for their own purposes, and then they set her back out into the wild naked and said, figure it out on your own. I don't care what we did to you. Sit room, Loki, what is happening in the cities is right out of Demolition Man. Yes, sir. People in power with the riots to create fear, then they get more power. That's right. Absolutely right, sit room. Loved Daisy in Murder on the Orient Express. She was not bad at all. She did not do a bad job at all. But yet Disney's ruined her. No one wants anything to do with her. No one wants to touch her. No one wants anything to do with her. Once you're done, you're done. John Boyega's fighting the good fight. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's letting it be known. Hey, you know what? This is what we were told to say. This is what we were told to do. We were under contract. We had to do it. And Gal Gadot just recently came out and said, if you're not a feminist, you're sexist. If you're not a feminist, you're sexist. Wow. Why? Why did she suddenly come out and say that? She's never said anything about like that before. She's always said she loves the fans. She absolutely loves the fans. So why, out of left field, did she come out and say this? I'll tell you why. Warner Brothers is reeling. Warner Brothers doesn't know what it wants to do. DC Comics has been completely infiltrated and taken over by blue-haired Landwells that want one thing. They want to inject everything they believe into your entertainment. And they don't want to do it subtly. They don't want to do it like it's been done since time immemorial. They want to do it in your face. They want you eating out of their blue-haired Landwell bras. That's what they want. Right before they burn them. I'm a humanist. That's right. Gesture of sin. And it doesn't make any sense. More and more I've seen this. Saw it out of Daisy. Saw it out of John Boyega. I really, really liked John Boyega in that first Star Wars movie. I even liked him in the second Pacific Rim movie, even though that movie sucked. I liked him. And then he started coming out and started saying all this radical ass shit. We're all sexist. We all got rid of Kelly Marie Tran. We drove Kelly Moran off Twitter. All this horse shit. And then suddenly, bam, he comes out and says, Disney had us by the balls. It was in our contract. We had to say what we were told to say. This was the sticking point. This was the selling point. You were either on board or you weren't. Yeah, Philip A. Dimick, they want to inject it without any lube. Yeah. And that's the problem we're in. That is why this shit cannot continue. That is why we have to stand up and we have to say, no, we're not going to watch your shit. Look what happened with Mulan. Mulan is the biggest dumpster fire in recent Disney history. And why? It wasn't because of the theaters. It wasn't because the theaters were all locked up. It's because they tried to make it something that's not. They tried to turn it into something it's not. For politics. For their political ideology. And they don't want to talk about it. How much have you heard about Mulan? How much did you hear about Mulan? It was like they just tried to cover it up. Only people talking about it were YouTubers. Why? Why? And welcome back, Dave Bob. How are you doing, brother? I don't know if you can hear me or not. Why did they do what they did? I don't know. For their weird political ideology? Is that what it was? Dave Bob, if you're talking, brother, I can't hear you. Just frag Hollywood, Psychodorf 9. Catapult Wangle was set wrong. Poor Pudgies, get a net. Get a net and catch him. Somebody with a net. Get it and catch him. Jester of Sin, Boomer Bob. Dave Bob, brother, are you there? Check and see if your mic's muted. Is your mic muted? Because I know you're not muted here. Let me make sure it's not me. Nope, it's not me. I've got sound. Here, brother, I'm going to try and take you out and put you back in. Still can't hear you. And you're not lighting up. Chris Percy says maybe his mic was unplugged. I don't know. There you go. I can hear you now.
All right, there we go. I guess it would help if I actually turned the damn thing on.
Ah, I love it. I love it.
I had a little emergency. I had a flood in my laundry room.
Oh, shit. I'm glad everything was okay and it wasn't anything more serious than that.
No, it was just washing machine flowed over and I had to get the wet vac out. Got some towels out. Everything's, well, it ain't back to normal, but it's drier than it was.
It's working itself that way.
Yeah, sorry, had to leave like that.
No, it's all right, brother. It is all right. We were just talking about Hollywood being Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's Hollywood's going to be Hollywood. They have their own echo chamber, and all they hear is just the echoes off the wall from what they say, and everybody else agrees, and it's just all one big splooge fest.
Gun Bunny, yeah, been there, done that, done that before. Jester of Sin, yep. Boomers. We have been known to boomer it on a time or two. I think everybody has. Well, we are going to next week. We are going to be talking Mandalorian on a lead up to the release of the Mandalorian. We will be going over the first part of season 1, and then we're going to be going through the second part of season 1. And then on, let's see, on the 30th, we've got release day.
Glorious.
So 2 more weeks and then release day. So catch me and Dave Bob next Friday. We're going to go over part 1 of season 1 of The Mandalorian. So the first, I think there's 10 episodes?
10 episodes, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go over the first 5 and talk the first half of the season. Then we'll go over the second half of the season. And then we've got release day. And if you need a way to watch it, I'll be watching it before we go live. So
Oh, I've got somebody's password for Disney Plus.
Nice. Yes. Never give Disney a dime. So, Purple Valkyrie, new to watch it. Looking forward to the reviews. It's going to be fun. As long as they keep it like season 1, it should be fun. It should be fun. It felt westerny.
I sure hope they keep it like that. It just seems to me like they start out well and then they kind of turn it towards that woke bullshit. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Oh yeah. They did that. They did that this season, second seasons. I don't know why they're doing it with second season of shows. They did it with The Boys.
Yeah.
It's not the same as season 1.
That's the Hollywood agenda for you. No, I don't think anybody's immune to it over there in Hollywood. I mean, it's kind of like a pigsty, you can't get in the pigsty without getting muddy.
No, you can't. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here today. Thank you, Dave Bob, for popping in. Hopefully next week we have a smoother trip.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh, shit. And it has been an absolutely wonderful week. It's been a wonderful week here with you guys, Monday through Friday. I am so lucky that I get to do this, each and every day. And then I get to hang out with each and every one of you. Thank you. Seriously. Thank you very much for being here. I was on Latino Slant the other day when he had his 200 celebration. I think that was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. And he was like, "Thank you, Loki. Thank you so much." I'm like, "No, brother. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for giving us something unique, something special, giving your perspective on all of the things that are going on." A lot of us don't always agree. I don't know if you can agree with that or not, Dave Bob. We don't always agree.
Well, I never agree with everybody 100%, but that doesn't make me to where I can't get along with people.
Yeah,
that's the problem nowadays. People, if they disagree with you, it's like you're the enemy. That's not the case. I mean, I can disagree with you and still be friends.
Yeah, that's right. And Trinoculus P, I'd love to see you guest on Friday Night Tights, Loki. I would love to guest on Friday Night Tights. If those guys ever are like, "Hey, come on," I would love to. I'd absolutely love to. I just said something to Jeremy over at Geeks and Gamers the other day, and I'll be damned if he didn't know who I was. Even with the name change, Stone_Loki, because that's Jeremy's the only one who ever said it like that. And I was completely blown away. He remembered who I was. Long time.
Stone Cold Loki.
Yeah, Stone Cold Loki. Oh shit. So yeah, I would love that. The fact that he remembered me. I love listening to I love listening to Gary. I've listened to those guys for years now. Supported the Fandom Menace for years. They're all great people, and anybody who doesn't, who says differently, they can F off. Great guys. They're not ists. They're not obes. Great and wonderful guys. And Philip A. Demick with a $2 super chat. We haven't had a skull yet, so skull. Thank you so very much, Philip Demick. You guys keep the lights burning bright here in Baja.
I say, boy, take your hat off.
Yeah, it's a dollar bill. And Prsa Didn't Gary shout you out last week? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It's amazing to me anyway. I geek out like a little fangirl. Yes, if you can imagine that, Loki geeking out like a little fangirl when, someone just, gives me a shout out or something. Especially when you're talking about someone like Gary. I'm like, oh my god, he knows who I am. Yeah, so I have a little freak out moment, and then I calm back down. I'm like, oh, breathe, it's hot in here, it's hot. Oh shit. No, I don't freak out that bad. I'm just kidding. But we've worked hard, all of us. A lot of people in this community have been on this show. A lot of people in this community have taken part in this, and thank you, each and every one of you. Whether you're in the chat, whether you've come up here, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what. If you've had an impact on this show, thank you. Thank you so very much. You just being in chat is huge to me, guys. I started this out, and it was like I had like 5 or 6 people come on the first time, and it was fun. It was so fun. I was like, holy shit, I didn't think anybody there. And Adega, just the other day, Adega said, even if it's just you talking to yourself, that's important, because you're getting out there. And even if you have 1 view on a video, that's 1 view you didn't have before. If you have 2, that's 2, 3, it's 3. It doesn't matter whether you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a dozen or 100. Someone's listening, even if it's just yourself, and you're just talking and you're getting it out and you're getting your voice out there. That's important.
You might feel like you're a voice crying out in the wilderness, but somebody will hear you.
Yes. And Mark the Ampling Tire, looking forward to watching the Mandalorian review with Loki and Dave Bob. Dave Bob does his homework and knows his business. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And you too, Latino Slant. You keep kicking ass and taking names, brother. You have a wonderful show. Absolutely wonderful show, brother. Something unique in the community. I want to give a shout out really quick before we get off of here to Rambling Canuck and Admiral Oliver Franklin Doom. And those two have got a history show going on, and they are putting their blood, sweat, and tears into the show. And it's great. It really is a wonderful show. They sent me a message and were like, we know you and Adega, I went old school there, have been talking history, but we're going to do this. And I just want to make sure it wasn't going to stop. And I was like, brother, it's content. Bring out your content. I absolutely love you guys. Bring more content. And they have. And it's absolutely great. They have an absolutely wonderful show.
Oh.
And yeah, we've got a skull from the Jester of Sin with the $5 super chat. Don't forget to hammer that like button if you enjoyed the content. Yes, please. I always don't think about that because I usually have the Dave Bob thing running. Please hit that like button if you like my videos. If you like my content, please make sure you are subscribed and that bell is rung so you can get notifications. YouTube doesn't always send out notifications, but ringing that bell is important because it helps every single morning that we get up and we do this. So please, if you like my content, please subscribe and ring that bell. And we will catch you guys next week. Thank you again. Thank you, Dave Bob. Brother,
I appreciate you having me on.
Dude, anytime. You are always welcome on here. And I can't wait to start doing The Mandalorian. So, guys, we will catch you later. We will catch you next week. Everyone have a wonderful day and be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. See you all later.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.